Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome to Mr. Tony's Hip Hop School. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. No, I'm not high. I just took a long nap not too long ago, so that's why I look like that. When you get older, you gotta take naps, man. You gotta take good care of yourself. Anyway, wanted to tag back on to that video about the greatest of all time. Just wanted to clarify some things. I could do it better in a video. I could do it better speaking. Jay-Z and Nas, right? I feel as though Jay-Z is the greatest because of his body of work and his productions on each album. His production is better. Nas picked some bullshit production on some of his albums. He even admitted that on Drink Champs that he picked some songs that was, he ain't say they were trash, but he just was like, he probably should have picked some different tracks. And Jay-Z, for me, the crossover appeal. Jay-Z is like known all over the world. Nas ain't known all over the world. Jay-Z's known all over the world. A lot of that has to do with Beyonce too. But Jay-Z came from under Jazzo, Big Daddy Kane, Biggie Small, and he was under somebody else. I know Biggie, Big Daddy Kane, Jazzo. Jay-Z been spitting shit for the longest, man. He really didn't come out in 96. He's been out since the early 90s. When he was doing all that fast, that blah, 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 trying to rap like Busta Rhymes and shit. So, Jay-Z, because he had some songs that was out, they just wasn't on the radio, but he had some stuff out. And and plus he switched it. Like I said, he could do the street shit, he could do the hood shit, he could do the crossover shit, he could do the pop shit, he could do the rock shit. He can switch it up, man. That's not the word I'm looking for. But he can do all different variations of music and still be the shit and still keep his swag, that hip hop swag. That's where I was coming from. That's what I meant by he's the greatest. I think Biggie is similar too, but Biggie just wasn't out as long. And that's what really hurts him because he only had 2 albums. Even if he would have had like 2 more albums, he only had 2 albums. 2. That's what's hurting him. That's just like a player being in the NFL that was great for 14 years and the other one was great for 2 years. It's like he might not make the Hall of Fame. Biggie just was so great. He still is considered one of the greatest of all time. And a lot of people say he is the greatest of all time. But I just think that's what hurts him. Because if it wasn't for that, he'd be the greatest of all time. And I wasn't really a huge Biggie fan. I wasn't a huge Jay-Z fan or Biggie fan. I did like a lot of Biggie songs though. It's just a lot of songs I forgot that I was like, oh yeah, I did like that. But I know back then I wasn't like, I never bought none of his back then it was cassette tapes. I never bought none of his cassette tapes or later down the road CDs. I didn't buy none of his stuff. I might have had him on a cassette tape that I might have recorded, like that, but that was it. Yes, back then we used to record the songs off the radio. So, but but Nas is definitely in my top 5. And I never said that neither. I should have said that Nas is in my top 5. In my top 5. But Jay-Z is, come on, man. I mean, this dude been doing this. I mean, he just had an album out, and that shit was hot. I don't think that was a banger, but it was hot. It wasn't like some bullshit. You know what I mean? You know how people come out with albums after they, let's say, like a lot of rappers, they come out now with an album. It's not gonna be the shit. Where his album was the shit. It just wasn't a banger. If you say, what was that XXL, the 5 mic? Out of 5 mics, he gets that album probably got a 3. You know what I mean? But that shit better than a lot of stuff that's out today. You know what I mean? So I think that he he's great, man. To me, he's probably the greatest of all time. I'm really leaning more towards him, only because of Biggie having 2 albums. If Biggie had more than 2, if Biggie had 4 to 5 albums, then it'd be Biggie. Yeah. I think Biggie's better than Jay-Z, but it's just that if you want to say the greatest, I mean, I just think you have to have a bigger body of work. So, but there's just so many rappers that were great. That, I mean, like, there's just so many unsung rappers, man, and producers. It's just because the mainstream, they run everything, and then they just catapult people. That's why I get tired of just hearing about Tupac and Biggie. Like, they the only motherfuckers that minimizes hip hop. It's like, well, what about, you know how many motherfuckers came out? You know how many rappers there were in hip hop? And they just keep saying, oh, Tupac and Biggie. Like, come on, man. It's too many. It's so many, man. It's so many. You got rappers from all over this country that were great, man. I mean, to me, Kanye West is up there. Nobody talks about Kanye West. They talk about him from a standpoint of like that mainstream media shit. Because he's with the Kardashian girl, and man, look, that dude was like a genius, man. First of all, them beats. First of all, he's a rapper. He's a producer that can rap his ass off. And that's another video I need to do. Producers / rappers, the greatest, or just in general, it don't even have to be the greatest. Dudes that was producers and rappers that were really good or great. That would be Kanye. Kanye's one of my favorite, man. I mean, he get goofy every now and then, you know what I mean? But overall, I like Kanye. But anyway, so Jay-Z, that's why I was saying that then somebody left me a comment and they was saying, damn, they said something, man. I can't remember. I wanted to address that, but I can't remember what they was saying. It was they just sent it today. Something they said I said something. Oh, it was about Jay-Z, and I can't remember what it was now. Oh, something about underground, saying he was underground or something. I said Jay-Z was underground. It had something to do with that, but I said Jay-Z, yes, he's had underground hip hop songs, but I mean, Jay-Z is multifaceted. He could do everything as far as hip hop, man. That's really what I was trying to say. Jay-Z got it all. He could do it all, man. And that's where he's above Nas, in my opinion. But like I said, this channel is all about opinion, man. I mean, some of it's fact. I mean, that's just, if I was to say Dr. Dre is probably in the top 3 or the greatest. No, even if I said Dr. Dre is the greatest producer of all time in hip hop, that's probably a fact. That's really, I probably would say that's a fact. You know what I mean? I mean, some shit you just, come on, man, you can't say no. You know what I mean? That's just like, was Q-Tip a great producer? Yes. Hell yeah. He one of the top ones in my book. So, so let me know what you think. Please like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. But yeah, I think that's going to be another subject to talk about. Rappers/producers that were great in hip hop. There's a bunch of them. I have my personal favorite. We'll discuss that in the next video. So stay tuned, stay locked.